Dear students, see last time we studied about power in a AC circuit in lesson number 7, that is alternating current. We discussed various cases also. Now today we start with the LC oscillation. Okay, this one is a very important topic. See in the later on in the other lesson also will be used. Now let us say, see a capacitor is charged by connecting with the AC source. Okay, now capacitor is charged. We know a capacitor stores energy in the form of electric field. Now, see what we are given at t is equal to 0. Here we see that a capacitor is being charged. Now, at t is equal to 0, the battery is removed and inductor is connected with the capacitor. So we can write series at t is equal to 0, an inductor is connected in series with charged capacitor. Now see, textbook only this diagram is given, but actually it happens like this. Now we have to write the differential equation of LC oscillation. This can be asked in a 2-mark question. Now here it will be Vc plus VL is equal to 0. Now because the capacitor is already charged, see discharge will take place. Okay, so the charge on capacitor will be decreasing. So charge on capacitor is Q by C. Inductor voltage is minus L di by dt. Okay, now here the charge is decreasing. So we can write I is minus dq by dt and di by dt minus d by dt of minus I have taken common. Okay, so this di by dt will become minus L minus d square q by dt square. So this negative sign will get cancelled. Okay, so it will become positive. So it will be L d square q by dt square plus q by c is 0. Okay, now we can divide this equation by L. So it will be d square q by dt square plus q upon LC is 0. Okay, see the above equation is differential of LC oscillator. Okay, now this can be asked in a 2-mark question. Now see here, voltage on the capacitor plus voltage on the inductor is 0. Vc is Q by C. VL, that is see the potential difference across inductor is minus L di by dt. Initially the capacitor is charged, so when inductor is connected, charge on the capacitor decrease, so that's why we write I is equal to minus dq by dt. So di by dt will become d square minus d square q by dt square, that we substitute in this equation. So our equation has become q by c plus L d square q by dt square is 0. We divide by L, so d square q by dt square plus q upon LC is 0. See, the above equation is a differential equation of LC oscillation. Now we have to show that, see the question can be asked like this also, that show that charge and current in LC oscillation varies periodically. Okay, now see our equation is this d square q by dt square plus Q by LC is 0. Now see the solution in the second order differential equation. See, we have studied in the oscillation earlier in the 11th standard that see the differential equation, if it is like this, d square x upon k, then its solution, probable solution can be y is equal to x is equal to a cos theta, x is equal to a sin omega t, or x is equal to a cos omega t plus b sin omega. These are the possible solution of the such differential equation. So here we assume that, let us say, let solution of above equation is q is equal to q m cos omega 0 t plus phi. Okay, here qm and omega 0 are constant. Okay, qm and omega 0, sorry, qm and phi are constant of equation. Now see what is our T0, the moment where the battery is removed and inductor is connected. Okay, so at t is equal to 0, okay, see q will be equal to qm, maximum charge, okay, and qm cos omega 0 okay, so that makes cos phi is 1 and phi is equal to 0. Okay, qm is the maximum charge, qm is the maximum, so what is the value of phi? We are getting 0. So the our equation, okay, will become q is equal to qm cos omega 0 t. So here what we see is the charge is a periodic function of cos omega 0 is a periodic function. Now see here, from that we can obtain current. We know I is equal to dq by dt, that is qm minus omega 0 sin. Okay, now qm into omega 0 is Im, that is maximum current. See here in equation of current also we see have a sine function. We know sine is also a periodic function. This is how the current also varies periodically. So this is how in LC oscillation charge and current can vary periodically. Now see here we have seen this is a differential equation of LC oscillation. Now in our 11th standard we studied about force oscillation also. Okay, what was the equation of the force oscillation? Okay, it was like this. Okay, plus B upon M okay, here d square q by dt square r by l dq by dt plus 1 upon LC q. Okay, we see some analogy or comparison. Okay, we see some analogy. This is basically called force voltage analogy. Okay, now see what we can see here. L corresponding to R. See, L is an inductor that corresponds to mass. Now initially we saw that lesson number 6 that inductor is a electrical inertia. See, in our mechanics mass is inertia. Mass is a measure of the inertia. In the electrical circuit inductor is a electrical inertia. So the L corresponds to mass. Okay, then constant K is equal to 1 upon LC. K corresponds to 1 upon C. Or okay, then see here, x is a displacement. Okay, x is a displacement, we have got charge q. Okay, there is a relation. Now we have velocity is dx by dt. Okay, then I is equal to dq by dt. Okay, now see the total energy in the mechanical system, okay, is sum of the potential and kinetic energy. Now here, see the in a electrical system, energy is made up of two parts. See, half mv square is the energy of the capacitor, okay, and 1 by 2 Li square is the energy of the inductor. So this is how we can correlate. Okay, this is how we can correlate the mechanical and electrical system. Okay, now see, this is about LC oscillation. Now later on in the lesson number 8, we'll see, in lesson number 14 we'll study about oscillator. Now oscillator is a device which produces frequency of desired amplitude voltage. It may be in terms of voltage or current. Okay, so that we'll see in the lesson number 8. Now we proceed further. Okay, now next is a topic is transformer. Okay, transformer is a very useful device. Okay, so transformer is a device to increase or decrease voltage. See, all of you are familiar that electricity is transmitted at a very high voltage. That we studied about that in lesson number 3, that is the I square R losses. Sometimes it is called transmission losses also. So in order to decrease the transmission losses, see, the electricity is transmitted at a very high voltage. Let us say the Torrent Power Company or GB produce electricity at a very high 132 kilovolt. But see, at our home or in office, our voltage is a 230 volt or 415 volt. Okay, so this is very high value and this is less value. So there is a need to decrease the voltage. So that can be done by a device called transformer. See, the transformer is a very useful device. See, the size of a transformer, okay, varies from a matchbox, okay, or a very large value. See the size of this room. Okay, so but it has a different rating. Now here we have to study the basic principle. Now see, a transformer works on the principle of electromagnetic induction. Transformer works on principle of electromagnetic induction. Okay. Now see the core of the transformer. Okay, this arrangement is called core. See, there are number of thin sheets joined together. Okay, depending on the application. See, the generally high quality magnetic material. Now see, the number of turns are wound like this. This is called P or primary, and this is called S, that is secondary. P is called the primary, S is called secondary. Okay. Now see, the number of turns in the primary is, let us say, NP. Number of turns in secondary is NS. See, the voltage across is ES, EP, and secondary voltage is H. Now see, in the earlier topics we studied, flux is proportional to number of turns. Okay, flux is proportional to number of turns. So phi s upon phi p is ns upon np. See what is ns and np? See that the number of turns in the secondary and primary respectively. Now see, by using Faraday's law, phi s is equal to phi p. Okay, so minus d phi s by dt ns upon np. Okay, now see d phi s upon dt is es. Okay, and d phi p by dt is ep. Okay, so we can write Ps upon ep is equal to ns upon. Okay, see, assuming very low internal resistance. Okay, assuming very low internal resistance, we can say Vs upon Vp is Ns upon Np. Now Vs is a secondary voltage and Vp is a primary voltage. See, Ns is a number of turns in secondary, Np is a number of turns in the primary. Now this is secondary voltage, this is primary voltage. Now see, ideal transformer, assuming no losses. Okay, ideal transformer, we assume no losses. Okay, we assume that whatever power comes to the input, same will be transferred to the output. So we can say in an ideal transformer, we can write output power is equal to input power. Okay, so Vs power is Vi, na? Okay. Okay, so it will be Vs upon Vp, Ip upon Ix. Now see, if we correlate these two, Ns upon Ip upon Is is equal to Ns upon Np. Okay, so this is a current relation. A relation between the current in the transformer and the number of turns. So this is about the transformer. So in an ideal transformer, we assume there is no losses. Okay, so in that case we can have this equation. Now, but in actual transformer, some losses are associated with the transformer. Okay, so now next we see okay, now see, the first losses in the transformer is due to eddy current. Okay, first losses in the transformer is because of the eddy current. Also, second, due to resistance of winding. Now just when derive the equation, we assume that the winding resistance is 0, that we have assumed. So that equation, we can derive the equation very easily. So first losses is the losses due to eddy current. Second, losses because of the resistance of the winding. Third is because of the hysteresis losses. Now we know, as I told you, see, the core of the transformer is made up of magnetic materials. Now in lesson number 5, we study about the hysteresis loop. Okay, losses that are also associated, okay, here in designing of the transformer. So depending on requirement, we select a material which is best for our given application. But here we talk of the losses of the transformer. So these are the hysteresis losses also associated with the transformer. So this is about the transformer. Now with that, see, our theory part is over. Now we take examples. Okay, now we start with the example number 7.1. Now see the 7.1. See a light bulb is 100 watt, 220 volt. Okay, what you have to find out? Resistance of the bulb. Second, the current, and third is the power. Okay. Power is given, sorry. See, we have to find out the resistance. Now see our formula. See, P is equal to V square by R. R is equal to V square by D. Okay, so see the resistance is 484. Now the current part, we know the formula P is equal to VI. See here the bulb is only pure resistance, we do not consider any component here. So power is 100, voltage is 220, so we can solve as 0.45. Okay, so this is about example number 7.1. Now next is example number 7.2. Okay, now see here the circuit with the only inductor. See the inductor of a pure inductor. Okay, so that is an ideal inductor. L is 25 millihenry. Okay, now the V is equal to 220 volt RMS. See, unless mentioned, we always assume that it is a RMS voltage. Now here, see XL is 2 pi FL. See the frequency is given as 50 Hertz. Okay, now okay, now see the inductance value we can calculate. XL value, XL is the inductive reactance. Okay, that is yes, see 7.85 ohm. Okay, unit of inductive reactance we have to assume it is ohm. Now IRMS, okay, 220. See, XL value is 7.85. So this will be 220 divided by 28. Okay, this is a case of only inductor. See, a 25 millihenry inductor is connected with a 220 volt RMS voltage. Okay, frequency is 50 Hertz. We have to calculate the current. Okay, now see circuit with the only inductor, power is 0, that we have discussed earlier. So here XL is 2 pi FL, that we have calculated. IRMS is VRMS upon XL, so that is 28 amperes. Now see next is example number 7.3. Now here, see a lamp is connected in series with a capacitor. Okay, it is given as a AC source. Okay, now what is a, we have to discuss the cases. First for the DC and second is for the AC. Okay, now in DC source, once the capacitor is charged, see most of the voltage, okay, here we consider DC and AC. Once the capacitor is charged, all voltage will go to the capacitor, no voltage for the bulb, so the bulb will not glow. Okay. Yes. Now see, for AC source, capacitive reactance is XC, 1 upon omega C. Okay. Now see, when C is increased, XC will decrease, so our Z will decrease and current I will increase. Okay. Now and vice versa. And vice versa. C is decreased. Okay. C is increased. XC will decrease. So the bulb will glow less brighter. So this is the effect of capacitor in a DC circuit and a AC circuit. Okay, first case we saw that. See, the capacitor is a charge storing device. It stores the energy in the form of electric field. So once the capacitor is charged, see the less voltage across bulb, so the bulb will not shine. Okay, but here it will vary with the value of the capacitance in the case of AC. Now see, next is example number 7.4. Okay, see a 15 microfarad capacitor is connected with a 220 volt. Okay, now there is a RMS value. Okay, now see the capacitive reactance XC is 1 upon 2 pi FC. Frequency is 15 into. Okay, so that we can solve 10 to 6 upon. See the 100 pi, 100 into pi into. That will make 15 pi. Okay, so now okay, that is 212. Now this is the value of the capacitive reactance. Now IRMS. Okay, IRMS is RMS upon C. See here, VRMS is 220. See the capacitive reactance value is 212. Okay, so this is we can obtain as okay, that is the value of the RMS current. Okay, so here capacitance is given, we have obtained XC is 1 upon 2 pi XC. So that we get the value as 212.31 ohm. IRMS is VRMS upon capacitance XC. So this is about the example number. Okay, here we have to obtain the maximum current also. IM, that will be root 2 IRMS. Okay, root 2 into 1.036. Okay, IRMS is 1.036 or 1.04 you can take. Okay. Okay, so this is about the value of the capacitive reactance and current in the AC circuit with only capacitor. Now see, our next example is example number 7. Okay, now see a bulb, an open coil inductor. See, the commercial name of the inductor bulb is a coil. Okay, now you know, you might have seen a chalk coil in our tube light earlier. Nowadays it is electronic chalk also. But see the inductor, it is connected with the bulb. Now this is the conventional symbol, okay, that we have accepted. Okay, the switch is closed. Okay, switch is like this. Okay, and after some time iron rod is inserted. Now see when the switch is closed and iron rod, see this is an inductor, one sort of when see the iron rod is inserted, see the inductance value increases XL. Now see when XL increases, that will add to the total impedance. Why? See our formula, R square plus XL square. Okay, so when the iron rod is inserted, Z will increase, so the current will decrease, so the bulb will shine less. Okay, bulb will shine less, so the current in the circuit IRMS, so with Z increases, I decreases, so bulb current will decreases, and so bulb will less brighter. Okay, or the intensity will decreases. So this is about example number 7.5. See, is an inductor and a bulb is connected. Bulb is our resistor. Okay, connected with the AC source and a key. See, when key is closed, naturally the current will flow. But see, when an iron rod is inserted, okay, inside the inductor, see the inductance value increases. That's why XL value. Why? Because XL is 2 pi FL. Okay, XL value will increase, so Z value will increase. IRMS is VRMS upon Z. So it is inversely proportional to the Z, so current will decrease, so the bulb will glow less brighter. So that is example number 7.5. Okay, now today we have seen LC oscillation. Okay, and we show that the charge and the current in LC oscillation varies periodically, that is by function of cosine or sine. We also saw about transformer. So transformer is a device which works on the principle of electromagnetic induction. It is used to increase or decrease the voltage, and we have taken some of the examples. See, next time we'll proceed further in this lesson. Thank you.